Joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline, straight out of Lithuania, Brandon Davies, all Euroleague first-teamer. Brandon, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great. I imagine that you're doing really well. Your team just finished 32-3 and in first place. What's this league been, or what's this season been like for you in the Lithuanian league?
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable season. Obviously Euroleague is done, and now our main focus is our domestic league here in Lithuania. So, things are going well. But we just finished the regular season last night, and now it's just focus on playoffs now.
Are you used to living in Europe and living in Lithuania, Brandon?
Yeah, at this point, it's second nature. But when I first came overseas, it was kind of a deer in the headlights, and struggled a little bit, for on and off the court. But now it just feels like home, I guess I could say.
What's the language situation like for you?
Here in Lithuania, I would say like 90% of people speak English or enough English to be able to communicate. So it's been great. It hasn't been hard. I tried to pick up a little bit of this language, but it's unbelievably hard.
Does trash talk happen in English on the court?
A little bit, but most guys don't really talk much to me, to be honest.
What are the chances that your team wins the championship? How do you feel going into the playoffs there in Lithuania?
I'm really confident. Obviously I think we're the favorites to win it every year, but it doesn't mean it comes easy. For the Lithuanian teams here, it's playing us is like, playing in a championship game, so we get everyone's best shots, and you just really wouldn't want it any other way. So every game's competitive, no matter how bad the team is, but it makes it fun.
Follow him at Brandon_Davies0 on Twitter.
He's now on Instagram too.
Oh, he's now on Instagram.
You just joined
as well.
Instagram, right, Brandon?
How are you feeling about this, Brandon?
Yeah, I just joined yesterday. I feel kind of old. There's a lot of buttons and things I'm trying to figure out. But, it's all good. I'll get it figured out, I think.
You've never sounded older. There are a lot of buttons and things. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Old man Davies with us.
So you play in Lithuania, play in that domestic league. You also play in the Euroleague. How'd your team do in Euroleague? Is it still going? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, Euroleague finished a little bit ago. We started, I think,
everything okay there? You dropped something?
Yeah, my daughter's running around. I'm trying to shoo her out of the room.
We know that drill.
But yeah, we were kind of I think we were in like 13th place, and we had to battle our way back. We had to win six games in a row to make the playoffs, and we did that. And we played against the number one team, and lost in 4 games. So the season went really well. Statistically, I had a really great season, but as a team, we really exceeded expectations again, and so everything ended on a high note.
Yeah, fantastic season and an incredible run through EuroLeague. You finished first team. How did you find out? Where were you, and what happened when you found out you were a part of that first team?
I was just sitting at home, and I got a call from my agent, and he just kind of informed me of the news and how big it was for especially this point in my career, trying to move forward. And but then simultaneously I was getting texts from my teammates and them congratulating me and telling me how excited they were. So it all happened kind of quick, but I was really excited about it, and my team was even more excited about it than I was.
Who voted on that? Was that the fan voted one that we helped get out there?
Yeah, it's a mix. So I know I gotta say thank you to you guys and anyone that voted. It's a percentage of between votes and the journalists, and then I think coaches as well.
We made a couple phone calls too, so we figured we'd help you out there. Hey, question.
Thanks, man. You guys means a lot.
You got it. We've been dealing with you since you were a sophomore pro. We go back a long ways. We love it. If the Suns don't re-up Jimmer, and we hope that he does re-up and stays in the NBA, have you sold him on the European experience yet? Because if the NBA doesn't work out for him, I would love to see him in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will work out for him. I think, he's right there. So I think as far as like China goes, he is in a great situation there, not just basketball wise, but financially as well. But, he would be very successful in Europe too, I think. And I think if he ever chose to take that path, he would make the most of it and be great. But he is, anywhere he goes. But that would be fun. That would be fun to play against him, or definitely play with him as well if I'm over here. But at the same time, I hope I can get back to where he's at as well.
Hypothetical: what's the best situation, country or league or team in Europe for Jimmer Fredette's skill set, in your opinion?
He's an NBA player. I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, it's just a matter of finding a team and a coach that will give him a chance, and not just a chance of just throwing him out there every once in a while, but with legitimate minutes, legitimate opportunity to show what he can do. He's one of the best scorers I've ever seen. So he belongs in a league with the other best scorers in the world. So that's my take on him.
At some point, when maybe he makes his way to Europe at some point, but if he played in Europe, where do you think would be the best situation for him? And again, hopefully it works in the NBA, but if he ever went to Europe.
Wherever I'm at the time, I would love to play with him again. We would be a unstoppable duo. So, but I mean, that's kind of up in the air. I could see him fitting in with, any of the top teams here in Europe. There's every team could use a player like him. I think there's, teams like, Madrid or, Barcelona, but also, there's other teams I think in like Russia or Istanbul who all play like his style of game.
Brandon Davies with us on BYU Sports Nation, 32-3 with his Lithuanian LKL League team, BC Zalgiris. Last year, you played with Team Fredette in the basketball tournament and had a really exciting run and got BYU fans juiced about that. What are the future plans for Team Fredette and your involvement, if at all?
I mean, that's kind of something I always wait till I'm completely done with my, my season over here and, my job. And then I kind of reevaluate in the summer, see how my body's feeling, see what things I have planned and this and that. So, but I think, this year there's it being in Salt Lake. So, I mean, that's definitely higher the, chances of me playing in it. But, I mean, it was a lot of fun last year. We had a lot of success. So we'll see. Also, we'll see what happens with Jimmer as well, if he's allowed to play in it or not.
That's true. Great point. If Team Fredette doesn't have Jimmer, that'd be a little weird. But, yeah, I feel you. Yoli Childs is pursuing a pro career. We'll see if it works out in the NBA, G League, or otherwise. What kind of advice do you have for a guy like Yoli, and perhaps you've already talked to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he understands, the position he's in. I heard some noise here and there about, Coach Pope talking with him and everything. So he's got the right guy in his ear. I've said it before, but Coach Pope, I think, is you can give him credit for me making it to the league. So I think if there's one person he wants in his ear, it's that guy. And I think now that he can focus on 100% basketball, and I think he's just going to excel from there. He's a hard worker, and I think he knows what he needs to work on. So it's just a matter of dialing in and tuning up his game and adding the things that are going to take him to the next level.
What was it that Coach Pope did to help you get into the league, Brandon?
I think it started, mindset-wise. He kind of, I think he helped me realize that the dream was, attainable before, I actually thought myself. He just kind of explained that there's a lot of little things that that I would have to do to make it, and he knew. Going into the workouts, I had 15 workouts with, a bunch of different teams, and he just broke down what workout was going to be how I would beat out who, down to the finest detail, and how I was going to have to, claw at the surface every chance I got just to stick around. And, that's what he had to do in his career. So it really it was easy to listen to him. And, that's just a small example and one example of, things that he did, and just things that we talked about throughout my career at BYU, and we still keep in touch to this day.
Brandon, it's great to catch up with you. Congratulations again on all Euroleague first team on a fantastic Lithuanian season. We wish you the best of luck moving forward in the playoffs. And let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma to go kill it, man.
And iProvo for life. Am I right, Brandon?
Yeah, I hear you. We'll never forget iProvo.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Brandon Davies on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline from Lithuania.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Deseret First, your values, your timeline, your financial future.